Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a crisis that is quietly but absolutely devastating families all across the country. And the crazy part, it doesn't involve masked robbers or your traditional bank heists. No, it involves familiar faces, trusted voices, and an illusion so perfectly engineered that it's bypassing both human intuition and digital security at a scale we've literally never seen before. We're going to break down India's massive AI deepfake epidemic.
So to really understand how this works, we kind of need to start with how it feels. Picture this. A man in Pune is sitting at his kitchen table and his phone lights up with a WhatsApp video forward. It's Ratan Tata. You see the silver hair, you hear that warm, calm voice, the familiar pauses. The respected businessman is directly recommending a stock trading platform promising guaranteed returns. The man watches it and he trusts it completely. I mean, why wouldn't he? It's right there in front of his eyes. So he opens his banking app and transfers the funds. In one single transaction, his bank balance drops to near zero. He lost 43 lakh rupees just like that. But here is the truly terrifying reality of this situation. There was no investment platform. There was no message from Ratan Tata. The face, the voice, the words, every single frame of that video was generated by artificial intelligence. He basically handed over his life savings to a machine wearing a dead man's face.
Which brings us to a massive, fundamental question. How exactly is an illusion, literally just an arrangement of pixels and synthetic audio, stealing thousands of crores from smart, everyday people? Well, the answer is that the weapon of choice for today's criminals really isn't complex computer hacking anymore. They aren't trying to break into bank vaults or crack your complicated passwords. They are manufacturing fake trust, and they're doing it at a scale India has never faced before.
The sheer scale of this whole thing is honestly staggering. Just take a second to process this number. In the year 2025 alone, Indians lost 22,495 crore rupees to cyber fraud. Think about that. That is the financial equivalent of a natural disaster. It's sweeping across cities like Pune, Bengaluru, Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, and countless smaller towns, just totally wiping out families' financial stability in a matter of minutes.
Now, to understand the tech driving this crisis, you might naturally assume these criminals are using billion-dollar supercomputers, right? But they aren't. This threat actually isn't coming from high-end frontier AI labs like OpenAI or Google. Industry experts confirm it's being fueled by low-cost, highly customized applications. Scammers are essentially using cheap wrappers built on top of open-source AI models. They share these across Telegram channels and dark web platforms, and they can run them on hardware as basic as a standard gaming computer. Because of this, the technical expertise required to pull this off has just completely collapsed. The barrier to entry is shockingly low now. We're talking maybe a few thousand rupees. So step one, a scammer extracts just a few seconds of someone's voice. They grab it from a YouTube video, a news interview, a podcast, whatever. Step two, they feed that short audio clip into one of these cheap Telegram wrappers. And step three, the system spits out a weaponized, convincing voice clone. It's got natural intonation, breathing sounds, emotional inflection. To the human ear, it is completely indistinguishable from the real person.
And these synthetic clones are overwhelmingly being deployed in one specific category, and that's fraudulent investment schemes. Roughly 3/4 of all cyber fraud losses in India come from these deep-faked endorsements. The scammers are literally stealing the most trusted faces in the country. We're talking business leaders, cricketers, spiritual figures. The Bombay Stock Exchange even had to issue an emergency public warning recently. Why? Because a completely fabricated video of its own CEO went viral, looking like he was sharing exclusive stock tips to manipulate prices. It's wild.
To keep this massive illusion going, these criminals obviously need infrastructure, and they have it. Fraud networks are reportedly spinning up around 1,000 new phishing domains every single day. 1,000! Each one of these is a landing page designed to look perfectly legitimate. They just sit there waiting to catch a victim who clicks a link in a fake WhatsApp or Telegram group, usually surrounded by fabricated testimonials and fake screenshots of huge profits.
But this crisis has another really terrifying side, and this one relies purely on psychological fear. You've probably heard it called the digital arrest. It works like this. Callers claiming to be from the police or customs tell the victim they're under suspicion for money laundering or maybe illegal parcels. The victim is then told they absolutely cannot hang up. They're kept on a video call, sometimes for days at a time, while being threatened with imminent arrest unless they transfer money to, quote-unquote, verify their innocence.
The financial damage here is deeply personal and it's absolute. Just to give you an example, in one documented case in Gwalior, a 69-year-old retired laboratory technician was caught in one of these psychological traps. He lost 1 crore, 58 lakh rupees. This isn't just a simple theft anymore, guys. It's a sustained psychological hostage situation, heavily relying on the illusion of an inescapable official video call. And the deception goes way beyond phone calls. According to global threat data, India's PAN card is now the single most targeted identity document for deepfake document fraud in the entire world. It literally accounts for over 27% of all deepfake identity attacks globally. Fraudsters are generating fake IDs, complete with realistic shadows and holographic textures. They are specifically designed to effortlessly pass casual verification checks.
But honestly, here is the most technically alarming development of all: deepfake injection. You know those KYC processes, the Know Your Customer protocols on your banking apps? They are built on the principle that a live face on a camera proves your identity. Well, scammers are now compromising devices to inject a synthetic face directly into the camera feed during a live verification check. They are entirely bypassing the very systems that were designed to prove a real human is actually present.
So let's step back and look at the true scale of this damage. 47% of Indian adults have either personally experienced or know someone who has experienced an AI voice cloning or deepfake scam. That's nearly double the global average. And of those victims, an incredible 83% suffered an actual monetary loss. But here's the statistic that makes the true scale so hard to grasp. 51% of UPI fraud victims never formally report the incident at all. Shame, confusion, and resignation are keeping these massive numbers hidden in the shadows. So why is this growing so incredibly fast, specifically in India? It's really a perfect storm of three forces converging. First, you have the enormous population size. Second, there's the instant, irreversible nature of our payments infrastructure. The UPI processed 228.3 billion transactions last year. The money moves instantly. You can't reverse it. And third, there is a strong cultural deference to authority here. A deep-seated trust in bank officials, the police, and revered business figures makes Indians uniquely vulnerable to scams that impersonate those specific voices.
Now, the government hasn't been silent about this. In February 2026, new IT rules were introduced requiring social media platforms to pull down general deepfakes within 3 hours of an order. For non-consensual intimate imagery, or NCII, that window is even tighter, just 2 hours. Plus, sharing AI-generated misinformation is now a clearly punishable criminal offense under both the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita and the IT Act.
But look, policy takes time to work, and right now your own awareness is absolutely the most reliable layer of protection you've got. So here is your actionable protection guide. Rule number 1. If anyone asks for money on a call, ask a simple, very personal question that only the real person would know. Or better yet, just hang up and call them right back. 2. Treat any celebrity or business leader endorsements on WhatsApp as a fraud by default. Guaranteed returns just do not exist. 3. Real police do not conduct investigations or arrests over a video call. Ever. Just hang up. And 4. Never ever install a loan app that demands full access to your contacts and your photo gallery. That is purely a weapon for extortion.
If you or a family member do end up becoming a target, you absolutely must remember this number, 1930. That is the National Cybercrime Helpline, and it goes alongside the website cybercrime.gov.in. If you realize you've transferred money, please do not stay silent. Report it immediately during what they call the golden hour. The faster a fraudulent transaction is reported to 1930, the higher the realistic chance that authorities can actually freeze the funds before they vanish into the fraud network.
The reality is, the technology behind these scams is only going to get better. These fakes will get harder and harder to spot with the naked eye. And honestly, no detection tool will ever be 100% reliable. But what will always work is a simple, analog human habit. You need to be the person who creates a single moment of pause, even when it feels super socially awkward to slow things down. Just remember, pause before trusting, verify before transferring.
Ultimately, it all comes down to this. Will you be the one to pause and verify, or will you be the next victim of a familiar face? Have this conversation with the older members of your family today, not tomorrow, not eventually, today. Save 1930 in their phones right now. Share this explainer with them so they can see exactly how these illusions are built before one reaches their own doorstep. Stay vigilant, stay focused, and we'll see you in the next one.